It is a pleasure to introduce today's keynote guest speaker, Dr. Akinwumi A. Adesina, President of the African Development Bank Group.
Thank you very much, and good morning to every one of you. I wish to thank the Dean, Sumitra Duta, faculty, and of course the students of Oxford University Side Business School for the great honor of being your commencement speaker at your graduation ceremony today. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Grace is somewhere here. I don't know where she is. Right. And for everything that I've done in my life, 60% belongs to her and 40% to myself. When your invitation was conveyed to me, Dean, by Ms. Aruma Oteg, former Vice President of the African Development Bank and also former Vice President and CFO and the Treasurer for the World Bank Group, a faculty member here, and a close friend of myself and Grace, I did not hesitate. And I need to be frank with you about why I didn't hesitate. Because I was actually admitted to do my PhD here in Oxford way back. And I decided to go to the United States. Oh, just think about that. And the reason I did it was because I had a professor, and I was quite interested. My field was in mathematical economics. And he said, look, as a guy who is a world-renowned mathematical economist at Purdue University, you had first class honors, right? But let's see how you do under him. So I went quickly to the library. I looked at the United States Information Service and found Purdue University. And I applied there and I went there. And of course, when I finished and I had a outstanding PhD thesis award from the university, I went back to Nigeria to see the professor and say, see, we did well, right? So that was the only reason I didn't come here. So, but I told the dean today, I'm back. The last time that I visited the business school here was in 2016, when I spoke at that time to some of your students here at the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. They were Archbishop Desmond Tutu fellows. So in between my admiration for the school and Aruma, you had me cornered. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. What a joyous day it is for you, all the MBA class of 2023. You have worked so hard. You've overcome numerous challenges, and you have succeeded. You also have made your families, colleagues, friends, and lecturers who are here to celebrate you equally proud of your accomplishments. Congratulations. Now, you are among the most privileged few in the world. Now, graduating from Oxford University sets you apart. Your school, the Side Business School, is one of the best in the world. And I'm delighted that also I heard that the benefactor of your school, Mr. Side, is here with us today. Thank you, Mr. Side, for your exceptional generosity to the school and for supporting all of these MBA graduates that will shape the future of our world. Class of 2023. In front of me today, I see builders and shapers of hope. You have been well prepared to go into this world to become change makers. You have received a world-class education, and you are absolutely ready. The world awaits you. The world faces many complex challenges. At the top of this is climate change, which poses existential risk for our world. We must do all we can to keep global warming to no more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. And for that, we need innovations to power the world better with renewable energy. We must do all to feed the world. It is not acceptable that over 2.3 billion people in the world go hungry every day. God did not create stomachs to go empty. He created them to be filled. There must be a hunger-free world. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught us the importance of global pandemic preparedness and to ensure that no one is left behind as far as access to affordable healthcare is concerned. After all lives matter, for the rich and for the poor. Recently, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres raised the alarm of the world is off course on meeting the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, our collective agreement to shape a better world for all. A better world for 940 million people who are without electricity in the world. A better place for 3 billion people without clean cooking energy. Majority of those are women, and of which millions and their children die every day from inhaling smoke while trying to cook just decent meals for themselves and their families. A better world for 2 billion people without access to clean water, and 4.4 billion people without sanitation. A better world for 1.7 billion people without access to basic finance, credit, savings, payments, or insurance. A better world for the 244 million children that are out of school, including 129 million girls. Many of them have dreams just like you all. They would have liked to be here today, even in the future. However, they cannot achieve their dreams, and neither can our world achieve our collective dream of a more just and equitable world unless we prioritize financing for developing countries to accelerate development. The global financial architecture is failing development in the world today as it faces multiple challenges. The global financial architecture needs to be modified to tackle these global challenges more effectively and to accelerate the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The global pension funds and institutional investors, which many of you will go on to work for, will have $144.5 trillion of assets under management. As you do, I have a plea. I encourage you as leaders to ensure that these vast resources are directed towards the collective good. We must ensure equal opportunities for all, regardless of one's economic, social, and racial backgrounds. We must create a level playing field for a more just, fair, and equitable world. More than ever, the world needs change makers. Change makers that can carry the love of God into a turbulent world. Change makers with a heart. You cannot shrivel. You must blossom. You cannot be hidden. You must stand out. Learn to commit yourself to working hard and making a difference. Regardless of where you find yourself, live a purposeful life. Inspire others. Support others. Pour yourselves into helping others to unleash their potential. Live for others. Do not live for yourselves. Then you will have fully made the only wealth that counts, the wealth of creating hope for others. Now, do not get me wrong, we need wealth. We just have to make sure we are not creating wealth at the expense of our common existence. We need a more just and a more equal world, one where the riches and the wealth of the few do not undermine the potential and possibilities of the majority. As MBA graduates, you have been provided with the tools you need to help generate more wealth and to manage corporations and economies around the world better. Put those skills and tools to work to make our world a better place for all. Whether as entrepreneurs, financial analysts, or asset managers, or leaders in the public sector, you are destined for success by the virtue of your first-rate education that you have received right here at Oxford Side Business School. Today, you joined over 1,000 graduates from here who have gone on to set up successful business ventures around the world. Bring into the workplace a mindset to work for others, not just for yourselves. A selfless mindset. A dedication to justice, equity, and fairness. a determination to promote transparency, inclusion, honesty, and integrity. A determination not to be sucked in by the slimy allure of insatiable corporate greed that has wreaked havoc on the lives of billions through creative accounting, misrepresentation of the valuation of companies, or the selling of securities that lead to insecurities. It is often said that history repeats itself because people do not learn lessons from the past. Now, as many of you go into the world of global finance, please let me remind you that history matters. Let me remind you that reckless lending, weak underwriting of mortgage-backed securities of the subprime, poor regulations, unbridled risk-taking, and the selling of risky financial derivatives to unsuspecting investors helped pull the world economy down and led to the depression, the Great Depression, that we had in 2008. The global financial contagion effects swept like wildfire across Europe and Asia, especially as global output and trade declined, commodity prices fell, countries faced liquidity crisis, tens of millions around the world lost their jobs, and poverty levels rose as social programs were reduced. The insatiable greed of a few for wealth triggered a financial contagion that caused immeasurable lifelong consequences for many around the world. The recent Silicon Valley Bank collapse is yet another case in point. SVB bank assets had grown from $72 billion in 2019 to $220 billion by 2022. Tech companies have stacked up deposits in the bank, rising from $62 billion to $198 billion. Alas, SVB's business model quickly unraveled as interest rates rose and the value of his bond portfolio plummeted. Deposits thus ran to make a run on the bank. HSBC had to buy SDP for £1, securing the deposit of the clients. But for this, once again, we will have seen the businesses and livelihoods of millions of people in jeopardy. There is no doubt that the withering down of financial regulations that prevent unbridled speculative activities led to 2008 global financial crisis. The tightening and toughening of regulatory environment put back the guardrails. But those guardrails are now being gradually removed. This may portend well for quick wealth creation for just a few, but could trigger greater risk-taking and financial speculation again, all oiled by greed. I read a really screaming headline recently that said, greed is good. Oh, really? I do not think so. Greed is the spark that leads to financial forest fires that blaze unchecked until all in its path is consumed. There is a need for greater regulation to protect the lives and livelihoods of millions of people from predatory practices of speculators. But more than ever, there is a need for strong ethical and governance standards in financial institutions and corporations. The drive for high risk-adjusted returns should not lead to moral hazards, but put at risk the lives and livelihoods of people. It is not just about growth or competitiveness. It should be about security and stability. You've got your MBA. Congratulations again. You deserve it, and you work so hard for it. Now, add to it the key for success: integrity. Integrity is about honesty, transparency, authenticity, and trustworthiness. The famous investor, Warren Buffett, once said, and I quote him, "In looking for people to hire, look for three qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy." And if you don't have the first, the other two will kill you. He's all right. Look at him. In other words, intelligence and energy without integrity is a disaster. While your MBA will open doors for you, it is integrity that will keep you successful and make the world a better place. Integrity is a currency you will spend throughout life. Do not squander it. Lose your integrity, and all you will have left is nothing but emptiness. There is a litany of business executives who have been derailed by greed and succumbed to unethical behavior, financial gimmicks, creative accounting, and fraud. There is no alternative truth, ladies and gentlemen. Truth is truth. As you go into the business world, stay within the rules and regulations. You all look great in your suits, and I love this place because you all wear bow ties, and I'm a bow tie guy, so I'm at home. But keep it that way. Don't trade your striped business suits for orange jumper suits. Do honest business. Stay out of trouble. Set your goals and stick to them. About 4 years ago, I wanted to raise the capital of the African Development Bank Group. Now, a major shareholder who spoke with me at the time said, "This is dead on arrival. You're a first-time president." And actually, the father of one of the graduates today, Bright Okogu, Dr. Bright Okogu, an ex-Oxford graduate, is here. Bright, where are you? Somewhere here? He was the dean of the board at the time. You can hear the guys. He was the dean of the board. And they said, "You are a first-time president. No first-time president in the history of the bank since 1964 has dared to do anything like that." Subsequently, a barrage of others expressed similar sentiments. I was undeterred. My team and I were convinced that we were on the right path. We persevered. 2 years afterwards, the shareholders of the African Development Bank unanimously approved the increase in the capital of the bank from $93 billion to $208 billion. The largest capital increase in the history of the bank since its establishment in 1964. And we achieved even more because of that. Last year, the African Development Bank was ranked as the best multilateral development finance institution in the world. This year, the African Development Bank was ranked as the most transparent financial institution in the world for lending operations to governments. Here, thank you. Here is a lesson. Never doubt yourself. If you do not believe in yourself, no one will believe in you. Your worth is not based on what people think or say about you or your ideas. It is the value you place on yourself and your ideas. Those who succeed do not check the pulse of public opinion to see how they are doing every day. They set goals, drive to achieve them, and remain tenacious when others doubt them. To succeed, build alliances and partnerships. Do not try to be successful alone. Be successful together with others. An African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. An African tree you may all be familiar with is called the baobab tree. Its trunks are huge, and under it are elders in our villages who will gather and tell stories or hold meetings. If you try to wrap your hands around the baobab tree, it is impossible. But if you join hands together with several others, your collective arms can embrace the baobab tree. That is what I call, in my leadership approach, the baobab approach. At the African Development Bank, I used the baobab approach with great successes. Let me give you an example. Earlier this year, we wanted to support Africa to mitigate the effects of disruption in global food supplies due to the Russian-Ukraine war. We had developed plans for countries across Africa to be self-sufficient in food within 5 years. But now we needed to have this financed. I told my team, deploy the baobab approach. We did. We worked with development partners from around the world. Within 6 weeks of the summit, we had raised $70 billion in commitments to implement investments around Africa. Nothing works better than collective success. Never walk alone. Now you must go out and be all that you can be. Now you must arise and shine. Be a doer. Never procrastinate. Take decisive action. Be purposeful. Be determined. Be resilient in the face of whatever challenges come your way. Now, if you set goals and your plan A doesn't work, don't forget there are still 25 letters left in the alphabet. Never stop doing good. Think with your head, but act with your heart. The most powerful instrument you will find in your hand is the power of your pen. When you reach positions of leadership, use that pen to positively change the destinies of people. In your office, in your neighborhood, in your city, in your nation, and in the world. Let that ink that flows be the ink of kindness that always flows from your heart. Be compassionate leaders and make the world a better place for all. Now, ahead of you is a stretch of life. Live it fully. Live it doing the right thing. Live it supporting others. Live it doing the best you can to improve the lives and livelihoods of people around the world. Use the baobab approach. Now, I'll ask to stop your order a little bit. I'd like you to rise and hold the hands of the person next to you. Just the graduates and the faculty members. Yeah, you just hold the hand of the person next to you, right? Okay, we're ready. Now repeat after me. Baobab approach.
Baobab approach.
Together, we will succeed. Oh yeah, you will. Sit down. Now I want you to go out and make a difference in the world. May God put wind behind your sails. God bless you all and thank you very much.